So, oh man, this is like the first bedroom video. Right? Bedroom video. Oh, I got a Winger CD yesterday. So we were dropping off food to like. No, we weren't. We were dropping off elders yesterday. Yeah. It's all quiet. Taco's taking a nap. Miss Rhonda's watching cartoons. She was up all night pacing around. She couldn't sleep. Well, stare at a television until midnight, you're probably not going to sleep. She's not used to doing that because she's not in her routine because her bed broke. So she's sleeping downstairs, so someone fixes it, so hopefully we'll get that fixed so she can get back to her regular sleep routine. At least she's probably upset enough she's going to make some people do some stuff today, because when Miss Rhonda says do stuff, people jump. And then, even though I'm supposed to do my morning medication, like always at the same time, stuff, like a lot of people like me forget, and I don't like the initial stages of medication. Like smoking medication in the morning. Oh, I don't like doing that. Right? Just like some people don't like taking their medication in the morning, so they don't. And then they wonder why they have a stupid day. Look, somewhere I picked up a Toronto Raptors later, but I know that it's not mine. Steve's, the guy from yesterday. We'll just call him the Baker. It was cool. He slept in the car most of the day. They're going shopping today for some stuff right now, and I filled them in quickly on like the status of the house, because really it's always got to be a housemaster, right? They forced me to do that because they knew I was the guy for the job, but they only got me to do it for 2 weeks at St. Michael's Home. Place ran like a clock for 2 weeks. Floor was clean, people were inside locked up when they were supposed to be. No incidents. I could do a full-time job. I mean, I'm staring at the stormtrooper, but he's like an elite who's like straddling my watch that I found on a, what was that thing? Fire hydrant up in Barrie, after I took a dump behind this YMCA because there was like big huge fence and big huge pile of snow that you could go in between. Not many public places open with COVID on, and they're sending out things like, did COVID affect your life? Give me the $2,000 now. That's what it takes. Did COVID affect my life? I'm lucky I'm even here. There's more people dead from COVID than COVID killed. All the stupid stuff made a lot of people die because no one was prepared. And Donald Trump already kicked the WHO to the curb like several days ago. 2 or 3 days ago, he was like live. Listen, WHO, you suck. We're withdrawing all support, and we're going to put it through proper channels of people that have a brain. Of course I do energy medicine. I'm a certified Body Talk Access Technician. I took that course. I've taken Body Talk 1 and 2, like, unofficially, like 4 or 5 times. I convened their courses. So I got to sit in on them and participate and watch, like, 4 or 5 times. Like, I'm on the inside jacket. of my friend Brenda Miller's book. It says, Brenda Miller is a game changer. That's it. Brenda is a game changer. Straight to the point. She changed the game in my life. One free concession. And I was elevated. I was honest. This is Brenda. Because no one else was home. I kicked my wife out and everything. Right? It's my session. So I'm on the phone. I got it plugged into my ear. And I'm like, Brenda. It's like this. Brenda. I drank like a whole bottle of vodka, just a Mickey, before the phone call. I was so scared. Later on the phone call, I'm like, my body's like this. Brenda, I can't move. It feels like I have a stroke. Oh, it's okay, Eric. Just keep breathing. Oh, okay. I wish I had a videotape of this. It was the best. I mean, the real body session that the physical one that I did with my Aunt Nancy, you know, retired architect, dressage horse rider, Margaret Heard of Stalls, son who was an artist of horses, lover of horses. Beautiful house. It was built the year I was born. That session, I said to her, I was like, man, I wish I could have videotaped that. Of course, I didn't have beds in. You know, we were just in her little room with the wave generation machine going shh underneath, you know, and all that. I've done every form of therapy known to man or woman or anybody on this. It's like, I would say, if some lady came to me and said that she would dance around a table with crystals all around it and go, ooh, and I get better, there with bells on. It's like, what's next? And I did do that. I've done everything. I've read everything. I mean, if all you did was listen to Wayne Dyer, just that guy, you'd get better. If you did what he said. It's not what he's saying. It's just he's repeating ancient old wisdom. And he took the time to read it and understand it. And then he took the time to know it by doing it. He became a Taoist. He shaved his head off. He wore sandals and then bare feet. Sold all of his stuff except for one island. The house on one island, you know. He understands that possessions don't mean anything in this world. If the lights went out tomorrow, they went out for about 10 minutes and people almost had a heart attack this morning. I just looked out the windows and the birds were still singing and the sun was still out, so we were fine. And all of a sudden the power came back on. I didn't even realize that the coffee pot was back on again. I use a combination of caffeine, nicotine, some type of Valium for spot anxiety reduction of the body. My brain doesn't get anxious anymore. I've got that guy fully wrapped up. Just like Jay Cutler said to me in that text, you know, 4-time Mr. Olympia, Jay Cutler, trained with him twice, by invitation, not, you know, you don't pay him. It's like, hey man, you want to go to Gold's? Yeah, let's go see Hendy. That's Henderson Thorne. Moonhead. Big moon face when he's on the juice, which means he always had a moon head. Loved Winstrol. So Jay almost makes me throw up doing legs. We say goodbye to Henderson. And we leave. And I've worked out with like a number of pro bodybuilders and top amateurs at that gym. Greg Kovacs used to be just watch it work out. I wouldn't work out with that guy. I can't bench press 500. I choose people that are the same strength level or weaker. Then I can give them motivation. Or someone's just, you know, someone's way stronger but not that much stronger. Like the guy could like shoulder press what I could bench press. Plus he's dead. And the day that he died, my friend Lisa from Sexy Effects Suits called me and she said, "Did you hear about Greg?" And she had called me, and I was standing downstairs in the condo that we lived in, talking to the security guard who I was friends with. So I'm always friends with the security guards if I live in a condo, because I used to be like a security guard, right? Have to talk to people. Every job I ever had was me talking to people. So now I've got YouTube. I'm talking to you now, right? And getting it out of the echo chamber is currently like the most, psychologically advanced thought process. Like if you talk it out loud, like you hear it twice or even 3 times, depending on what perspective you're looking at it from. I'm going to rewatch this. I'm going to hear it 3 times. Once in my head, then it comes out of your mouth, goes back to your ears, that's twice, and then I'll rewatch it on YouTube, and that's 3 times. So if I said anything wise, I'll go, oh, I'll have an aha moment like Oprah talks about. I'll remember it because that was an emotional moment that you went, aha, right? Emotions imprint memories. And then if your body's all jangling and you don't realize it's just your body, your brain goes, because it's wondering what's going on with the body. Because there's 3 minds, right? Or 4, or whatever. The most modern thing is the guy on TED Talks talks about that. Dr. Brad Bland. Old potty mouth. Says bullshit a lot in his book, Radical Honesty. I don't know, I think it was like 40 years ago that was written. Now, 45? I don't know, I used to say 30. Anyway, now he's back on TED Talks. Talking about the 4 minds or the 3 minds that we have that all don't think the same things or even interact with the environment in the same way. And then the little one in the front, which is the 4th one I'm talking about, the 2,000 bit per second processor, your ego. He's sitting there going, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I mean, that's what he's doing. And so Dr. Bland said that he'd come up with a mantra for everybody. Took a couple of years, he said, maybe. Or maybe a whole season at his retreat for like rich people. And he said, we came up with the best mantra. So, Tao Tuk Wakukit, or whatever his name, it had like Om, and that works for a lot of people. But now, in this day and age, with people staring at their blue light screens and decreasing their dopamine levels to such an extent that they can barely even think about anything or do 2 things at once, even if there was such a thing, I still can't do the thing with eyebrow. So, where was I? See, that's the first time I've lost my train of thought. I got a big train of thought. Right? When mine goes off the rails, it's done. The whole thing. Like all the boxcar, right down to the boxcar. Oh, they don't have a box. Oh, yeah, they do. But there's no caboose no more. I saw the last train caboose on CN Rail, I guarantee it. And all of a sudden there wasn't one. Just a black box, that little thing that hung on the back bumper of the train. No caboose. No dude in there. Gone. Replaced by a black box. Human ingenuity at work. And now, there's so many of us, and we're all trapped inside. But we're not. But we're willingly sitting inside. And people are witnessing the next stage of evolution, which is people will just sit and watch people on a screen versus going outside. I've already been outside, my morning outside time, froze my feet, walked in the grass, grounded, watched the sun come up, did my morning routine for exercise and stretching. I'm sitting on my magnet mat. But the funny thing is, I was already healthy before I started doing these things. So I lived outside all winter. See, I said I would, so I did. Once I do decide to do something, it's good. Better make sure this is working. Let's turn this thing off. Turn off. See. Turn this off. No light. There. Nope. It's a green. Maybe. You don't. Okay, that's purple. That's red. That must mean it's off. Must be. We'll just leave it like that. Anyway, I lost my train of thought, and then we started talking about trains. And all the whole time in the back of my head then, I was thinking about my Uncle Dick. Richard Manicum. Dick Manicum, who lived to be 106. He was a centenarian, and he drove a Honda always, and he drove stick, and he never changed the brakes because he geared down for every single stop, and basically anyone that got one of his cars afterwards, well, it was brand new, and I got to drive one of his cars. Honda Accord, my mom bought off him. You know, I almost killed myself in that car. 90 kilometers an hour, dirt road, freshly graded, probably Mr. Blacklock. And pile of bugs hit the windshield and had the window down. I just went, oh, like that, reacted. And then all of a sudden the car was going sideways on top of the gravel, doing 90, and the telephone poles were going right down my head. And then I just steered into it and kept steering into it and made sure I hit the gas. And then I ended up facing the other way. And it was kind of still. And then I turned the car around and I thought, I won't tell my mom about this for at least 1 year. And I didn't. I think I did 5. I don't know. But my Uncle Dick, you know, he was a baker, and he made the best confectionaries. Never cooked, just baked. And the only thing that killed him was probably his baking, because his kidneys packed in at the end. That was the only thing. He was reading science fiction novels with a magnifying glass still when he was 106 in the nursing home. Drywalled his basement, and carried drywall when he was like 90-something. Embarrassed the young kids delivering. Anyway, I'm just calming myself down because it's a zoo downstairs. It takes me like half an hour to an hour to just unwind after all the just insanity, right? Oh, someone's outside walking. Miss Rhonda said I could smoke in my room if I opened the window now, because she's getting sick of people going in and out, because now she's downstairs because the bed broke. She's too heavy to sleep on the floor. Anyway, this is Eric James Morrison, the first signing off. Little ESMR. I was like calling to the red-winged blackbirds. I was like, could they do that, right? And now there's a few that answer back, and there's tons of them now. I've been doing it for like a few weeks. And then there's like a kingfisher that flew by, and there was a cardinal, which is my mom's favorite bird. It's bright red, sitting in the tree right in the middle, and he flew off, but he landed in another tree just down the road. Just down the moraine down the road, right? Goes in everyone's backyard. Like that. And I heckled the guy. It was like, I was like, isn't this the best backyard to have if you're an extrovert and you're a health scientist and you like talking to people because you're a social scientist? That means like you're social and you're a scientist. And you grew up in Pepperlaw, which had like less than 2,000 people, and everyone talked over the fence. And one of your dad's earliest memories of you was leaning over the fence in Keswick to the neighbor and going, look at him go. And the neighbor looked over and said, yeah, just a pair of shorts and rubber boots, eh? It's like, yeah. Outside, 24/7. Eric, get inside. Sometimes I want to play inside, though. go, make spaceports and stuff. I saw my friend Anthony Corelli, also known as at Milan Miracle, the Milan Miracle on Instagram. Santino Marella from WWE, and his son's making forts. He's making forts for his son, like their whole living room. Like my mom used to freak out. She let me do it for a day, and then I'd have to put it all away. After a day, she'd make me put it away after I was gonna play. Yeah. So anyway, this is really good stuff. I'm not gonna tell you where I got it.